What the heck is going on, guys? What's popping? What's cracking? Watching some Velocity Labs out in the garage, drinking a Blue Moon. Got some more parts in. Obviously, you can see the T56 in the background here. I've got all the parts lined up now. That's not for this video, but we have some other things we're going to work on, mostly for the Supra, and then some stuff for the MR2. We're going to finish up that ignition issue. I ordered the parts, so they should be here by the time the end of this video is done, and I'll get them on and see if it fixes it. I ordered a fuel filter and new cap and rotor, all from Prime Driven because they had them in stock. I usually get that stuff from Two's R Us, but he didn't have them, so I ordered from him. So first thing here, big shout out to Top. They sent me this nice OBD scanner here. I've been needing a new one, and they were kind enough to send me one for free. So I'm going to show you guys how to use this on the MR2 because I got a couple codes on that and her RAV4 that I need to go over. I'm not really sure what's up with her car, but it keeps throwing a random code, and it just shows on a check engine light. So I don't know what it is, and with this, I'll be able to check it because my other one is from 2008 and not up to date, and apparently the code that's throwing, it's not registering. So I'm going to find out what that is. Another big shout out to LED guys. If you guys know, I've been having problems with mine in the dash going bad, so yeah, he sent me some new ones, and I'm hoping this is enough, and I'm hoping these are good to go. And then lastly, we've got new 45-degree fittings. Now, first thing I want to say here, these are Amazon fittings, which means they were 10 bucks a piece. Now you're probably saying, Ryan, why would you do that? So these are going for the catch can itself. They're not even going to attach to the motor. They're going to be actually on the physical catch can. Since there's not constant fluid going through it, it's just blow by. I go through these fittings so much and I keep replacing them. I can't keep justifying 30 bucks a pop for a fitting when they're not really doing much except venting some air. There is some fluid that comes through it obviously, but nothing crazy. And if they don't work, I'll buy some real ones. For what they cost, they were so dirt cheap. I was like, you know what, let's give it a shot. And if they do work out well, I'll let you guys know. If they don't, then I'll order some XRP or get some nice vibrant ones, so on and so forth. But I digress. Let's get inside the car here and at least put these bad boys in. Hope to God these match. The issue I was having was these should be a nice bright white. The ones I kept getting were like a yellow color. LED guys was like beyond helpful. This is like third set he sent me. His distributor, I guess he uses, keeps messing up and the LEDs aren't right. This was old set he's had it for a while. Never been used, but he's had these around. So I'm gonna throw these in, hope it fixes the problem. All right guys, it looks like we're golden here again. Go ahead and see here, flip it on. Back in business, nice and white and looking good. The only thing is this one over here looks a little yellow still if you guys look at it. See, these are nice and white, and then this has like a yellow tint to it. I'm not really sure why, but ever since I switched to these new ones or my old ones burn out, I guess the manufacturer changed and he tried to help me a ton. Nothing against him in any shape or form. LED guys have been fantastic, and if I probably mentioned it to him again, he'd send me even more. But I just don't want to go through it anymore. He is beyond great. And besides me just being nitpicky, no one will probably ever notice. All right, now that that's done, we need to move to the catch can. Oh, sweet Jesus, I can't wait to get you in soon. Soon, baby, soon. Anyways, so we're over here. I've got the 45-degree angle fittings on. Now, I just have them loose on here. And the only reason I have them like this, you guys can see, I had straight fittings on before. And if you can see here, well, my catch can wasn't the same as this one, but it would come out straight across, which is okay, but see how far it sticks out? I just thought it looked awkward, especially when we put the first one on, like this one. It sticks out half over your engine bay. Now, with the downpipe I have now, it's not bad. When I go to a 4-inch, which needs to come up more, I'm afraid with heat, and I just think it would look cleaner if I could get these two bend back and down, and then this one also back and down. See how much better that looks? I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, Ryan, you're being nitpicky, but I just think it adds a little bit better look to it. I think it looks a little bit more professional, especially once I powder coat that catch can. I'm glad I didn't drop it off now. I'm planning on hopefully getting these hoses here done tonight. I've got to appease the wife, got to make dinner here. Breakfast for dinner, best thing ever. Thanks again to Kate Boost for all your help because we're gonna have pancakes again. She has fallen in fucking love with this syrup, and I looked up the price. Holy shit, is it expensive? Thank you so much for sending it, but holy cow. I don't know what y'all are making that shit out of, but good Lord, that shit is expensive. Anyways, let's put these fittings on. I'm gonna show you guys how to make AN fittings in this video too, how to go about it, how I do it at least, how to cut down the hose, what's the best way to go about it, and how I'm gonna mark these up even. All right guys, so I'm on the top here now. You can see, I'm just gonna turn this line a little bit, trying to figure out where I wanna mark it so I can thread it up in there and it works properly. I think I'm gonna hit it right there. But I'm gonna put the camera down for this just because I wanna mark it perfectly. All right guys, so I've went ahead and marked the lines there to where they need to be. I had to mark this one a second time here, as you can see. I'm hoping that I marked it right. And here's the one thing that's funny too. This is a Red Horse hose. This is a Vibrant hose. See how tight the weave is on a Vibrant hose? Red Horse is a name brand too, but I think that the Vibrant stuff looks a little bit nicer and sleeker than what the Red Horse did. But let's get these off now. These are already loose over here, the fittings, and pop this off, and I'll show you guys how to cut it down. All right, guys, so I have my old hose here. In the, I guess you call these AN clamps. You can get these off eBay, you can get these on Summit Racing, Jegs, whatever you prefer. That's up to you, whatever, if there's any company that you prefer over other ones. Now what I do is I clamp this down in here, and then I use these AN wrenches over here. Now these wrenches I got off Summit Racing a couple years back, and I also bought that one, which is an adjustable. But for me, I'm just gonna use a solid and take this out. There's a little nut right here. It's hard to see, but there's a little nut right there. You can see it's right there. All you do is spin that up, and this goes up and up and up, and then it comes out from inside of this, and it will look like, well, I put this one together, but I'll show you here. I'll take this one apart and I'll show you what it looks like, and then you gotta take the hose out. All right, guys, you can see here I've got the black piece or the top fitting off. You see I got the bottom fitting in there. And the hose is still stuck up inside it. There's threads inside there too that hold the hose. All you do now is reverse thread it out or unscrew it, and it pops out. Now what I'll have to do after that is cut the hose down, which I'll show you guys how I do that. Before I show you the next step, I finished up the first hose. I'm gonna show you the second hose here, but I finished up the first one here. It took me like a couple seconds really to do this, but if you guys can see here, I should have cut off more. I was trying to be generous, but I guess I was a little too generous, and it looks like I need to take this apart again and shorten up the hose some, because it's just, it's too tight. Or not too tight, it's too loose. It needs to be, yeah. See if I can move that down some maybe. But see, I don't want it facing down like that either. I want it tucked up. So the goal is to move it there. So I'm gonna undo it and then cut down the hose just ever so slightly. Bumping a little peep right now. Fucking love this guy. Too bad he's dead. Anyways, actually, I think it's been 1 year since he passed away. Anyway, so I went ahead and recut that. I want to get back to showing you guys how to do it, by the way, and it's perfect now. You see there's a slight gap back there, so it won't rub. Yeah, and I can obviously move this up, down if I need to, whatever. So got plenty of room there. That's not perfectly tightened yet, so it'll sink up a little bit more. Same with down there. But yeah, very, very happy with that. Snug, nice and snug bag against the body, and then this will go with it. And I also have clamps I can use if I want to. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll make that decision when the time comes. All right, guys, now to slip this on, the easiest way to do this is to grab some lithium grease, which I have right here. Grab some lithium grease, spray it inside the threads of this fitting. So just take this, spray just a dab, just a little bit on it. See if I can get this to, there we go. Just that little bit will be enough. Let it swirl around in there just to help get this thing on a little bit easier, because it has to go on. You have to slide it on here. It takes a little bit of effort, and get a flathead screwdriver here and use it to press the edges up inside of this. But it takes some time, guys. Don't get frustrated. Just take your time, take a deep breath, and work it through it. Guys, one thing I really need to stop doing, I gotta stop dropping this camera. I've dropped it like 30 times now. It's ridiculous. But that being said, I'm done with the fittings and the hose. I'm sorry I didn't get that last little bit, but you guys saw. You just take that little bit of lithium grease, put it in there, which is pretty much like WD-40, except a better version of it. Put it in there to help get it down. I will say Vibrant hose has to be the thickest, or the, what's the word I'm looking for? The weave in it is much thicker than, say, the Red Horse. The problem with that is, though, if you can see here, it's bunched up. It's just so thick. Like, this hose does not want to bend like the Red Horse does. The Red Horse is fine. It's held up for years and years for me. And I do like the way the Vibrant looks, but this is the third time I've had to use it now, and it's always a nightmare to get on, no matter if you use these cheap fittings. I've used Vibrant fittings, obviously, on it before, and had the same issue. Had to cut it down some, take a lighter to it to try and get some of the fuzz off, as I call it, but it's not perfect. Most won't notice it, but it's going to bother me. So the hose behind it, wish it was the hose up front, but whatever, the hose behind it looks perfect. So once I get this off the powder coat, I think this will all tie in nicely now. But you guys can see that there's a slight crisscross right there, and it's because of that fitting. If I bring it down to overlap completely, it'll rub some up and down. One, it'll rub the finish off the fitting. Number two, it might rub a hole in the hose, and we don't want that. So I'd rather have it more functional and going up above and beyond. And it also gained a ton of room. If you guys can see this here, it did exactly what I want. It goes right back behind this panel here, so you can't see anything, and leaves all this space here for a 4-inch down pipe. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is have this hard line removed, cut, re-welded so it's straight up, and they do make a proper hose. I think it's from a Subaru that fits better for this, and I'm just going to use that. Or what I'm going to do is flip these two hoses around. As you can see, I have this hose going there and this hose going there. From the factory, they're flip-flopped. This doesn't, with the way this is set up, the heater cord doesn't matter. There's no directional way that it has to go on. So if I just flip-flop those two, I think this hose might even work, but I'm just gonna get brand new ones because anytime you're messing with coolant, might as well replace them. 15 bucks and cheap versus the giant headache when one does break. So I'd rather put new on it. All right, now that that's done, you can see wardrobe change. So I'm back doing some other stuff now. I had to get some stuff from Granis Racing. When we went up there, we didn't get this little guy right here, which is the pilot bearing. The pilot bearing is obviously different from the R154. The snout is smaller on the R154, W58, V160, etc. So the snout is bigger, so he has to send me a custom one. We didn't pick it up, that was one thing I forgot. And he had to send in this big ass box, and on the front of it, which I can't show you because it has the rest of my address on it, he made some nice words on it because he's just a super nice guy. Thanks, Joel. But anyways, guys, there's a few more things I need to do here. I need to finish up. I need to go ahead and hook this up to the car now. Again, I'll link all this down below for this, guys. It's a little OBD2 scanner. Look how tiny it is. This is perfect, so you can throw it in your, wherever. Just put it in your center console or whatever. But it just works by clicking on the car first. So what you need to do is, first thing you gotta do is plug it in. So find the plug in your car, which mine's down below here. As soon as you plug it in, the screen should pop up. So that screen will pop up. Now, you have to key the car on so you can actually run the test. Right now, I have one random check engine light, which is random, so it comes on and off. So my luck, it's not gonna work today. Go ahead and throw the keys in here. And once I do that, you can hear it beep a bunch at me and the fan's gonna kick on. All right. So what we're going to do next is we're going to click over to OBD2, hit OK, checks everything for you, and everything came back okay. Lucky me. But this little guy comes in handy, guys. It's going to have to refocus off the screen now, but this little guy comes in handy. Like I said, look how tiny it is. It's almost like an iPhone that you can just keep stored. It comes with a little plug too, so this has a built-in battery and stuff in it. No external batteries needed that you can charge it with, and I don't think it needs much power with an LED screen and all that stuff. But again, I'll link all this down below, guys. Pretty neat little tool to have when you're out in the middle of the road and you're trying to figure out what's wrong with it. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for this one. Stay tuned. I'm going to have the first episode of the Joel Granis, or Granis Racing T56 Magnum Assault coming up, going over everything in the kit. Then we're going to have the install series, which is going to be a 2-part series to get it all done right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. As usual, go down below. Check out the Facebook, Instagram. You guys know what to do. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace! There goes a sight from my soul.